Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the virtual Cobalt Cafe. My name is Rick Lupert. I'm your MC for this evening of poetry. It's week number 307 of our virtual series. Happy to have a full house tonight for our open reading, as well as to welcome our featured reader, Ying Wu, who I believe lives on a boat in San Diego, which I was concerned that it might float away in the middle of the reading, but I'm guessing if you're on the boat, it really shouldn't matter. You're at home wherever it floats to, so we should be fine. So good. Looking forward to your reading, Ying. We're going to do a bit of our open reading first, and then we will welcome Ying to the virtual stage to give us her reading, and then we will have the rest of the open reading. If you would like to read tonight and you have not already done so, send me a message in the chat and I will be happy to add you to the list. As always, it's 2 poems maximum in the open reading, and the suggested time limit is less is more. So there you go. Now you know the official suggested time limit. So keep that in mind as you're picking out how what you're going to read and how long it's going to be. So there you go. We also do have a 1 drink minimum here at the Cobalt Cafe, so make sure that you have a beverage with you or two to help make sure that you stay hydrated or just in a state of enjoyment, depending on your personal preferences throughout the festivities. Since everyone is muted, make sure that you have the chat room open and visible so you can see all the important things happening there. Messages, it's a great place to react to what you're hearing people read, post links of things, etc., etc., etc. I believe that's all the things I need to tell you. Before we get to our first reader, I would like to ask if there are any questions. Cathabella, did I get you there? There you are, yeah.
Rick, what is a favorite naming situation you've had, naming a pet or a friend or anything?
Well, most of my friends came with names already, so I'm gonna take them off of the list. I'd have to say of potential answers. Um, I have named most of our cats, um, and I don't know that naming one of them over another really rises to the top, but I can tell you that typically. It takes a while for me to land on a name because I feel like I
Uh-huh.
kind of got to get to know them first, so and see what their personality is. I actually changed the name of Bootsy, who's in the other room. He came as Andre from the shelter, but he really wasn't an Andre, and I guess they didn't realize it, and he was a Bootsy. So maybe we'll just go with that one.
I like that. Thank you, Rick.
Sure. Thank you, Cathabella. Looks like Finn has a question. Hi, Finn.
Good evening, Rick. Could you tell me what exactly is the difference between a siren and a mermaid?
You cut out there at the end, a difference between a siren and a what?
A siren and a mermaid.
Sure. Sirens are louder and they'll kill you.
Ah,
Mermaids you can kind of hang out with if they want. Occasionally they get legs for brief periods of time. Sirens, they're just like super loud and ultimately will kill you.
good to know. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for asking. Martin, what's your question?
Evening, Rick. I was wondering this evening if you have a favorite constellation or zodiac sign.
Um, I don't have a favorite constellation. The only one that I could probably name is the Big Dipper. But then I guess there's also a Little Dipper. So, you don't want the little one to feel less just because it's smaller, I suppose. We're just going to go with the Little Dipper because I feel it's the underdog of the Dippers.
or Ursa Minor, as some people call it, who have imaginations that make them think it looks like a bear. So,
Very good. Okay, Martin, thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
Ed, I see your hand is up.
Oh, good afternoon, Rick. I have a question. What is your favorite song? The song that you listen to that'll brighten up your day?
Um, that's a really tough one to answer because I'm like in a world of music and there's just constantly new songs coming along and old ones that get revisited and they all have their own moment of emotional impact, you know, so it would be really difficult to pick a favorite song, to be honest with you. All right, Ed, thank you for that question. We're going to get going. 5 open readers, and then our featured reader, Ying Wu, on deck. Our second reader will be Bill Gaines. Please welcome our first reader, Dre Reyes. Hello, Dre.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? It is great to be here. This is my second week in a row on Cobalt Poets, and I'm excited, honestly. I love being able to go to new spots and just mingle with new people. But speaking of spots, quick promo. Every Saturday, I hold a space. It's called a Slam Jam. You have a slam workshop. It's like a slam simulator where you get feedback on a piece and have a good discussion on our craft. And then there's an open mic list, and there's this different special guest coach every week. So stay tuned. More information, the One Slam Jam on Instagram. Anyway, I got 2 poems for y'all. So, first, I bow and cheers. This first poem is a wacky one. Just a heads up. So I asked myself the question, what if the Macho Man Randy Savage, yes, wrestler, Hall of Famer, Slim Jim guy, Macho Man Randy Savage, if he was a Pokemon trainer? So here's Machoke Madness. A lot of people out there are calling me hardcore. A lot of people out there are calling me cold and calloused. A lot of people thinking I'm living on the edge, that I'm insane in the membrane, and I'm a time bomb. I could go ballistic in any second. And all those things could be true, yeah, but doesn't ignore the fact that I'm here in Viridian City for one reason and one reason only, yeah. I want to be the very best like no one ever was, yeah. To catch 'em all is my real test and to train 'em is my cause, dig it. History beckons the Macho Man Randy Savage in the Pokemon universe. I'm walking a fine line between life and immortality, or perhaps sanity and insanity, yeah. Perhaps the Macho Madness has consumed me, but soon enough, the Kanto region will feel my polywrath, yeah. I'm gonna do the thing in the ring with my Needle King. Gonna bite you with my Raichu, gonna make you croak with my Macho, gonna eradicate you with my Eradicate, and you will fear the might of my Dragonite, yeah! You have more of a chance of crawling through the eye of a sewing needle than you and your Pokemon do at being able to handle the Machoke Madness. Yeah! My Pokemon will be all over the place! And your Pokemon will be helpless to look to the left, to look to the right, to spin around 360 degrees when all I gotta do is look up. Because that's where my Pokemon are. They're gonna be on top. Then, now, and forever, yeah! And this message goes out to every gym leader in the land. You've been put on notice because, comparatively speaking, your Pokemon are nothing but grains of sand in the Sahara Desert, yeah. And my Pokemon team is the entire desert! Many grains of sand have fallen by the hands of my mega powers. Yeah, my Pokemon, the lords and masters of the universe. And there is nothing that's gonna keep us down because we are the cream of the crop. And we will rise to the top in any battle, truth unraveled, no promises, just guarantees. Ooh, yeah! Poem. Now we got a softie coming at you. But one that makes you think. Here's one I like to call home. There have been times when I felt homeless in my own home. Home shouldn't be a place to dread more than a workplace. Home shouldn't feel like you have to settle for anything at the cost of your core values. Home shouldn't feel like indentured servitude with no breaks. Home shouldn't feel like you're sitting smack dab between tectonic plates in constant collision. Home shouldn't feel like you shouldn't feel like you're an unwilling participant of an endless game of Russian roulette. Home shouldn't feel like a noose around your neck as soon as you wake up in the morning. Home shouldn't feel like a casket you're forcing yourself to get comfortable in. Home is not always a place, but a state of being. Home is a mental checkpoint we strive to have every day, a place to save our progress and regenerate our health, a safe space for the mind, body, heart, and soul that promotes growth and mindfulness. Home is a security blanket woven in comfort. Home is the feeling of achieving spiritual homeostasis. Home is a sigh of relief from absolute chaos of everyday life. Home is sanctuary. Home is where I want to be, but I guess I'm already there. Home is standing here beside you, loving the passing of time. Home is walking into your embrace, enclosed in your arms. Home is looking into your eyes and seeing everything I could ever desire staring right back at me. Home is the freezing of time, the blurring of everyone else's face, because you are home to me. Home. Thank you. Hearts.
Sweet ending, Dre, to that poem. I love the difference between the two pieces that you read. That's really cool. Welcome back, second time here. Third time you officially get to call Cobalt home. That's our standard 3 times in a row, and you're officially a regular. So keep that in mind. And perhaps we'll see you next week. I don't know. The clock starts again, but when if you miss it. But once you achieve that, you have that forever. So keep that in mind.
Oh, you bet your sweet beep, your sweet bippy. I'm gonna be here next week. Sorry, it's been a long work day.
That's okay. My sweet Biffy's actually at the shop at the moment. Dre, thank you so much for being here. Good to hear your work again. Round of applause for Dre Reyes. On deck, Martin Parker, please welcome Bill Gaines. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Dre. That was awesome. Thank you for that. I've got two. Um, First one, I was given a homework assignment by Rick maybe 2 weeks ago, and I did it, but I didn't read it last week because I had that other thing. But I will read it now. The homework assignment was find at least one way romance transcends the species barrier over to kitchen appliances. And so this first poem tonight is called Kiss the Microwave Goodbye. I sit outside listening to the chorus of Wild Dawn, and the night turns to day, and my coffee gets cold. So I take my mug and excuse myself, and venture inside to the corner in the kitchen where my ride or die resides. Open the door, offer it up, close the door, tickle the buttons, beep, boop, beep. Take in the new sound, the calm and steady mechanical hum, reliable like nature, but only on command. 30 seconds of magical heat, the invisible flame, some kind of metaphor. And now, my beverage reheated, my power restored, my gratitude remembered. I kiss the microwave goodbye and whisper tenderly, see you soon. That's the end of that one. And then another one. Hey, sorry, my dog is getting into the trash. The other one's called Find Them or Don't. Money is fake, but living is real, and both exist in a bubble. Strip one from the other, you'll be just fine. Bind them or don't, it's your choice. The choice is also fake. End of piece.
A shorty but a goodie. Tickle the buttons is going to stick with me for a while, Bill, and I don't know that I'll be able to approach my appliances the same over the next few days. With that,
Be tender, Rick. Be gentle.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to run this by my wife as well, for that matter. Bill, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will mark this off as a completed assignment on the official record, and I appreciate you taking it seriously.
Always.
Well done. Round of applause for Bill Gaines.
Thank you, everybody.
On deck, Ed Potastic, please welcome Martin Parker. Hello, Martin.
Hello again, Rick. Got a couple poems here as usual, including one I recently called Stargazing. I used to love to look at the sky, see constellations my father taught me. The Milky Way with its smattered light from an Ohio field would call to me softly. We sat across the road from the house of his best friend who took me to Cuba to see the sunset on a man-made lake that he would navigate once so smoothly. But seldom now do I look up as I reside in a city of worries, where light is pollution that hides the stars, and cataracts make even the moon look blurry. So that's one for me, and as I've been doing, I found another poem with the same title. So this is Stargazing by Glenn Maxwell, a British-American poet that I just learned is 2 years older than I am. Stargazing. The night is fine and dry. It falls and spreads the cold sky with a million opposites that for the moment seem like a million souls, and soon none, and then for what seems a long time, one. Then, of course, it spins. What is better to do than string out over the infinite dead spaces the ancient beasts and spearmen of the human mind? And if not the real ones, new ones? But try making them clear to one you love. Whoever is standing by you is one you love when pinioned by the stars. You will find it quite impossible. But like her, for more thinking, she sees that constellation. After the wave of pain, you will turn to her and in an instant change the universe to a sky you are glad you came outside to see. This is the act of all the descended gods, of every age and creed, to weary of all that never ends, to take a human hand and go back into the house. So those are my two poems, and I'll put my usual links in the chat for if anyone wants to check out my multilingual telegrams, like my wave behind me.
I would like to join with the choir of people in the chat who really enjoyed the line, "Cataracts make even the moon look blurry." Well done, Martin. That was fantastic.
Fortunately, that's now historical because I don't have cataracts anymore, but still the light in the city makes it impossible to see much.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I will say I was a bit alarmed by the line, "taking a human hand inside the house." Like, did it come with a person? Was there just a pile of human hands out there and you picked one out? Did you remove it from a human? I don't know. There's a lot of things to unpack with
I
that
think you
one.
need to read the poem again just to get the context. It was definitely a confusing line.
I probably do. Martin, thank you so much. Good job as always. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Martin Parker. On deck, Jeffrey Bryant. Please welcome now Ed Potastic. Hello, Ed. Are you there, Ed? Okay, let's move on to Jeffrey Bryant. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hey, hi. Congratulations on your book, Rick. Look forward to it. Poem number one, Persephone sitting bedside. I cough into another sunrise full of politics and joint pain as the dew drops its moistened hymns atop the forehead of a woman meeting overnight delivery quotas. There's sweet sorrow in every one of us who thinks birdsong is designed to soften awakening's blow. My apartment creaks under the weight of rent-controlled nightmares, making me sneeze again. I promised Persephone she'd be in this poem, even though it's getting light and she just loves the dark. But it's summer, and she's on her shift among the mortals. And we flirted in Intro to Classics, so we go way back. And she's right here on the edge of my bed, handing me a tissue, gently stroking my hair and saying, "You need me to harvest you a boyfriend." So sweet and yet so wrong. A sentiment so very full of pomegranate seeds. I just need this very moment with all its dew and all its honey because, my dear Persephone, we both know how underworld all men can be. Poem number two, because it's August. This is from my book, The Catacombs of Vanished Lovers. August Abad. I pull myself out of a hat each morning, scribble down the passwords buried in birdsong, chant my name in pronouns from lost tongues, time travel to find perfect coffee. My face is so full of headlines, too much clickbait in the sunrise. I just want to close my eyes again and feel the dancing apostrophes across my skin. I will find beauty unfolded on ancient maps, space cartographied by the nocturnal who move the familiar while I sleep. Pollux and Castor draw my bath, both looking simply Olympian. And I slip in and feel them loofah me whole. A day sits for me to move through, all funhouse mirrors and mumbled disclaimers, but I still find my hat again and pull you out of it. And we breathe each other full. Thank you.
Beautiful last image there, Jeffrey. Thank you very much for your work. As always, your presence here is essential as far as I'm concerned. I really love your work. Thank you for being here. Round of applause for Jeffrey Bryant. On deck will be our featured reader, Ying Wu. And hope you guys saw in the chat there, but up now will be the collab, Cathabella, Jackie, and Siggy. Hello to all of you.
Hello, Rick.
Up next, suddenly. Yeah, so hurry up.
Sorry, it was because Ed wasn't there. I forgot to
Yeah,
mention that
I
he.
had to tell Rick
Yeah,
because he has to get his flute out, you know?
sure.
Let's see. Let's see. Share. Sharing, you could turn that on. Huh. I'll send the request. Oh, why can't I see it? It's right there. Okay, sorry to be slow, but sometimes it does that. Let's see. Sorry, Rick, I got it all ready before we started, but sometimes it just doesn't want to show itself. But it will. It's required. Let's see. Yeah, I had the collab right on my homepage showing. Almost there now. It's almost there. Okay, come on now. Here it is. All right. A string of names. Jackie.
I don't see it on the screen yet.
Oh. Okay.
Siki, do you see it on your screen?
I see it, but maybe it didn't.
I can't see it.
You can't see it. Okay. I see it. I tried to share it. Let's see. Oh. Let's see. What do? I clicked on share. I'm sorry, Rick. This wasn't the way it was supposed to work. Try it again. Oh, see, it's not showing itself.
Should we come back to you guys later? What do
I
you think?
guess you better. I'm sorry. I had
Okay.
it all set, but I didn't.
No,
It doesn't
no
want to
problem.
cooperate.
We'll come back to you later. Just for the sake of time, we can move forward. Perhaps you can just have that document ready to go, and when we get back to you at a later time. So we'll say that after our featured reader, Jared Campbell, you will be up next, which brings us now to our featured reader, Ying Wu. Ying is a poet whose work came to my attention thanks to Rattle magazine, as so many wonderful poets come to me in the morning, making my day start with poetry. I was really excited about the poem that was sent by Rattle and put Yang on my list to invite and to be here. As I mentioned earlier, this is probably the most exciting thing that I learned about Yang after booking her, but Yang lives on a boat in San Diego. There's something very romantic and interesting about living on a boat. I don't know that you're going to talk about that or what that's like. Certainly, that's not why I invited you to be here, but it's cool, and I just want to acknowledge that not only do you live on a boat, but you live on a boat with your husband, who's here in the room with us, and your daughter. So, how big of a boat is this? My God, that's a kid. Is there room for more of us to come, hang out?
Yeah, yes. Please come visit. Yes, it's 35 feet, and
That sounds
I
like
should confess, we have another boat right across, so we have an extra space.
you Some people have guest houses out in the back. You have a guest boat, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah. We grew to
Okay.
the point we needed an extra one.
Well, I guess that's how you do it. Earthquakes have no effect on Ying and her family. It's just another day at sea. Ying studies embodied condition AI and extended reality at UC San Diego. Um, if you ever find yourself at the San Diego airport, check out the outdoor installation of her poem before. I'll post a link to that in a little bit so you can check out. That's very cool. That's the potential to have your poem seen by thousands and thousands of people every single day who might not normally have poetry on their radar. So congrats to you for that, Ying, as well as kudos to whoever is in charge at the San Diego airport for thinking to make poetry available. Her work, as I mentioned, has appeared in Rattle and other places like New Verse News and Writers Resist. Ying, I'm super happy that you're here with us. Please welcome our featured reader, Ying Wu.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. Yeah, and I guess I'd like to start with a shout out to the Super Poetry Highway. In fact, it was I had to look it up, but in 2014, Rick actually did feature a poem of mine. It was, I think, the first poem I've ever had featured, and it actually had a huge role in getting me involved in the poetry community. So thank you. Yeah, so I'll start out with a poem that I wrote very recently. My mother had cancer in April. I was taking care of her, and she passed away. And she smoked, and I was very angry actually about the whole situation. Having to leave my family, having to go take care of her, and there's just a sense of you know, people really view smokers as like kind of like they did something wrong. And there were other sides of it. I'm also very happy to be with my mom and grateful that I could leave and that I had the time with her. But through the anger, I started thinking, well, what would happen if, somebody tried to make me stop doing something that's very important to me? And so that's how this poem came about. This is called Addiction. Every few hours, I need to write at least a line or little phrase, or even just a word that feels remarkable. The shimmering builds up, but people say it's bad, what flickers in the distant haze. They say it harms your health and talk about the price of gas instead, or watch TV or mow the lawn and tell me I should quit. And believe me, I have tried. But most days, all I feel is tiny thoughts adrift, and space and sky and bifurcating channels, veins and rings, sunlight and the cactus spines. I need to rest and think and write, but they are telling me to quit. I might get lice or ticks or cancer. I might die broke and hungry. Do I want to quit? I circle yes, but I am lying. There's a clipboard in my hands. I circle words. There's a foyer and a front desk and someone on the other side just waiting, and I need to sign and hand it back. But there are edges in my mind and something blue and deep and tiny cracks. I circle things, but the cracks are really fissures filled with light and haze. Mostly what I feel is fissure. Even castles fall apart. Thank you. So, this next poem was featured in the San Diego Poetry Annual, which was, I think it's their 20th anniversary. Also, a really, great community sort of like institution. And actually, it was when I decided to read it because, Rick, I found one of your poems on Facebook called Two Mountains. And I kind of see this as like the opposite side of a coin. So this is called Rules of engagement. We know there are horrors. We read the news and feel disgusted, angry, heartbroken, anxious, empathetic, sad, and grateful just a bit. It's true, thank God it wasn't us. To live in this world means adhering to rules. We all agree that bullets could leave us bleeding on the sidewalk, but only if they're discharged and we're standing in their path. Otherwise, we're free to study Shakespeare. We all agree our homes could burn, but only if a fire starts. Otherwise, we're free to plant roses or bake a pie or drink Cabernet and brag and sing because famine and bullets and fire are elsewhere. I hug my dog and touch her chest, where the cloud white fur is thick and soft. She looks in my eyes. There's softness between us, spreading, melting, like sunlight reaching across the trees. What I feel in this moment is gratitude, compassion, love, and horror. Yes, a bit, though I wasn't fired or seized or handcuffed or sprayed or starved or dragged from my bed or bombed in my sleep. To live in this world means, to love in this world means adhering to rules. So that poem I wrote last year when, things were really, there's a lot of news, a lot of, real intense changes that people were really, there was a lot going on. I feel like it's still going on, but people aren't talking about it as much. I'm going to read another poem that was featured in Writers Resist. I was a poetry editor for there a while back, and also a great place to submit your poetry if it's, political or resistance related. So this poem is called Remodeling the Kitchen Won't Expand Your Mind. My fellow law-abiding citizens, as we steer our carts through Costco and Walmart and Target and Best Buy, let us remember this. We are somewhere, inside our shoes, between the cans of soup and bags of noodles, between crossing off sanitizer and searching for arugula, between the chill of dawn and the cool of night, between apex and nadir, between the arc of the sky and our parking spots. We are more than 7 billion in the world. Each one of us is somewhere. The bones of our forefathers are somewhere. Our baby bonnet buttons, the old TVs we forsook for flat screens, the prizes from our Happy Meals are somewhere. My law-abiding brothers and sisters, as we dream frontiers from our cul-de-sacs and pull the crabgrass and whiten our teeth, I ask of you this, touch your navel. We came into life through connection. Feel the soles of your feet. We are somewhere. We are here. So I think being here it's great to just take a moment to reflect on what being here means right now, which is this great opportunity to come together. We all have poetry in our hearts. So really, yeah, here is a great place. So yeah, I'd like to share like another poem really kind of inspired about my childhood. How many people have read Shel Silverstein growing up or in the past? Yeah, that was like the biggest inspiration for me. And I think the first poem I wrote, I was like, in third grade or something. I remember it was about broccoli I didn't want to eat. Um, and yeah, that was really, I feel like those times were really, some of my most powerful moments of like being able to just be here. So this poem is called Dangerous and Important. Remember when the floor was lava and your friends could see the lava too? Between the sofa and the coffee table, you yawned a gaping chasm. You could jump it and your friends could jump it too. And woven in the cushions were these little spots like birds in flight. The earth was layered. You were somewhere on the surface, and your friends were on the surface too, and the sofa with its tiny birds, and the table, and the living room, and all the lawn and street outside. You made chalk rainbows on the sidewalk. And there was clover in the alleyway and carob trees with long dark pods that you rattled and cracked, and your friends did too. Your rings were long and tiger striped. Your rings were iridescent, and running made them brighter, and your voice felt huge inside your throat, spilling out across the surface of the layers where you ran. The earth was molten fire at its core. I think sometimes really what, I draw on is that strength, that feeling of voice, that fire. That's what really, helped me or is helping me now through the times we're in and through some of the challenges. So this is another poem that I wrote last year, really about, just the complete attack on higher education, because I am a research scientist, and the universities and science in general has really, suffered a lot of blows. So this poem is called Self-Deporting. I'm tired of the news reports from someplace else that's mostly cows or soy or coal, and someone interviews the person feeding livestock, asking how he makes ends meet, or people on the sidewalk, fears and hopes, or farmers on their farmland talking legacy and labor, shipping costs and tariffs, China and Brazil. I don't see why their troubles matter more than mine or yours. I don't care how they voted, what they're thinking, what they now regret or celebrate. The news reports on Ivy League professors who fled to Canada or Europe, not students here who sink in debt or work 3 jobs or lose the thread or hide at home or cannot pay or try or just give up. They interview the president of Harvard, not the woman from Temecula who wants to earn a PhD, but no one's taking on new students. The office next to mine is empty, and the next one down, and the next one down, and I'm leaving too, but light still glimmers when I close my eyes, more dimly now. The strands and murmuration, rhythm, coalescent waves and particles like sunlight. Our human minds are layered like the sun. Atoms fuse in the solar core, and thoughts take form, and thoughts expand, and heat and light move outward. I'm tired of the news reports on AI, crypto, TikTok, GLP-1 agonists, big tech, big oil, deep belly fat, Wall Street, Easy Street, the price of gas and orange juice. My heart is failing. The university cut my salary by 95%. I'm sitting with my colleagues and they're speaking, but there's water in my ears. And I'm straining toward the surface, grasping upward through the layers, and the chancellor sends email, and the vice chancellor send email, the executive vice chancellor, the UC president, all touting principles of community, optimism for the future, discovery, collective work, and a bunch of other nonsense while they're canceling my health insurance. Please see the attached. Sunlight is a wavelength that travels through a vacuum. You signed and acknowledged that you will not have benefits if your FTE is below 50%. I think of luminance from distant stars, how photons spread and waves disperse, but light still glimmers when I close my eyes. And the university announces $1.7 billion in the current fiscal year. And the government announces 600,000 deportations in the current fiscal year. And we tilt and rotate on the planet in the current fiscal year. Days follow nights in orbit. We are turning, but it feels like standing still. And so, thank you. I'd just like to end on a poem I wrote a long time ago. Maybe this was, right around the 2014 era. So it's called Before I Wrote Poetry. I collected words. I was 8. I wrote them down in a notebook, rainbow, glisten, tendril, sago, twilight, silence, wave. And thoughts would shimmer up from somewhere deep inside my mind, threads and pieces. Before I knew about syllable, metaphor, pentameter, I felt the air flowing, just the air, as I lay beside the window in my room, clear, cold, damp Pacific, fir and cedar, wild clover. There were hills beyond the porch steps. There were mountains. I could see them even when I closed my eyes. Hills and mountains. And after school, some days I'd lose myself walking back through the tall, tall firs, sunlight and the needles. Here and there, the sun came through and floated. You could see it catching on the needles and clumps of shaggy hanging moss and the wisps and strands, the sun, the bright, fierce gold, translucent sun. I collected words. Well, thank you.
Ying, thank you. We are thrilled to have collected your words tonight. A lot of great stuff that you told us about. My mom smoked, and she died from smoking, and I was also very angry. I don't know that I was angry that she died, to be honest. I was angry my whole life that of the opportunities that she kept missing and destroying for herself because of her smoking. So I really related to that quite a bit. Um, Big fan of the San Diego poetry community. You probably know I've gone to Escondido a few times over the years and read there, and it's always a fantastic, very supportive community of people who are there, not just to see me, but reading their work. And it's just, it feels like what a poetry community should be. So you've got something really great down there. The line "to love in this world means adhering to the rules." Uh, Something I should have learned a long time ago, I think, but still working on that. But I know that that resonated with me, and I mean, there's a great intersection in your work, I think, between social conscious and your own experiences in the world, and it was just really cool. So thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. I'm going to share the screen and show folks the broadside I made for the poem that you sent. Actually, let me paste the stuff in the chat first. There it is. Here it is. You can download this now at the Cobalt Poets website. The link is in the chat. It's an 11 by 17 print. Print it, look at it, do what it is that you would like with it. This is how we compensate our featured poets, by making one of these for them, and ask that you consider purchasing, quote unquote, one of them, or just plain old tipping the poet for their reading, just like you might at an in-person reading. Put some money in the hat that gets passed around. Tonight, the hat comes in the form of PayPal and Venmo, and Ying's PayPal and Venmo IDs are pasted into the chat. So please do that. Please support our featured reader for her stellar reading, and so she could buy more boats and accommodate all of us when we come visit. And ultimately, I mean, this is all, let's face it, all of this is leading to us moving the entire Cobalt reading to all the boats in San Diego. So there you go. Ying, thank you so much. Really great reading.
Thank you, Rick, and thanks to everyone for listening and for your support. And yeah, it's a beautiful broadside. I'm so honored.
Thank you. Yeah, good poem that you sent for it. All right. One more round of applause for our featured reader, Ying Wu. Leads us now to the rest of our open reading. Here's who I have. Jared Campbell, Richard Loringer, Sean Mahoney, The Collab, Christopher T. George, Ken Scott, Melody Anderson, Bermides, Ike Waltz, Andy Palasciano, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right, Ed Potastic, and me. If anyone would like to be added to the list, please send me a message in the chat and I will be happy to add you. Make sure that, well, not make sure of anything. Reminder of the guidelines: 2 poems maximum. Less is more is the suggested time limit. Keep all that in mind. So we will say that Richard Loringer, you're on deck. Please welcome Jared Campbell. Hi, Jared.
Hello. It seems like the internet has gone a little bit spotty all of a sudden, so let me know if it breaks up on you. But here's what I've got is two sonnets. One of them is a Petrarchan and one is an unrhymed sonnet. The first is The Birth of Beauty. Botticelli, yeah. Is it not working? All right, I'll turn video off and see if that helps at all. Botticelli painted her exposed and riding on open scallop shell, as if Olympus were a show and tell. It's not that easy. Beauty is born closed. Otherwise, its pearls would solve once posed. Like goddesses to dreaming infidels, or heartbeat felt beneath a fontanelle, beauty gets more naked as it grows. You were right, Sandro Botticelli, that her shell was floating on the waves, unspeakable in what its closedness saved until it opened, speakability to humiliate. Beauty misbehaves, a heaviness that floats impossibly. And then the second is called Lithophone in 6/8 time. Birdsong was less polyphonous than usual, and I thought in words until my favorite crossing of the creek. Its lithophone in 6/8 time awakened me to the B and E flat drones of the cicadas, then the robin song and cardinal countersong. So unlike the white noise waterfall at the next crossing, drowning melody with nonsense, all except cicada drone, as stupid and as stubborn as the sameness of Osage oranges on the forest floor. I walked to the third crossing, where the creek is slow and deep and dark with umbrage, and I wondered at the silence of the tadpoles.
Jared, yeah, it occurred to me that I've never heard a tadpole make a sound ever. So, what is it? Can we just not hear them? Are they not talking
Frogs are loud.
What's that?
Frogs are loud. What happens between the frog and tadpole time that makes them speak up all of a sudden?
Perhaps they go to loudness school?
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jared, you've given
mysterious.
us a lot to think about just with that one line. Thank you for being here and for your work. Round of applause for Jared Campbell. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
On deck is Sean Mahoney. Please welcome Richard Loringer. Hello, Richard.
Hi. Yes, we're offering another sonnet party tonight. Thank you, Jared. And that sounded very clear, by the way. Yeah. And I've managed to join you all for 6 weeks running. And I'm sorry to say I might not see you till December because my rehearsals start in earnest next Tuesday. But I'll be, anyway. And for those who, well, some of you have been here most of those weeks, or maybe all. I've been reading pairs of sonnets, which I don't always do. You may not get sonnets from me again after this, but from a crown of sonnets that I wrote unexpectedly in June. I don't want to go to, some people have heard this before, but I didn't expect to. I wrote, that's 15 interlinked sonnets, and they sort of address how one might approach, or or prepare to approach fixing or helping our broken culture of the moment. And it's called Breaking Crown, with a certain broken crown in mind. And and it's been a little disjointed. There are 15 of them. I read them in this order, I think. The first week I read numbers 5 and 6, then 9 and 10, 3 and 4, 1 and 2. And last week I read 11 and 12. I skipped 7 and 8 because they're too violent. And tonight I'm going to read you 13 and 14. And you'll never, well, I'll tell you about 15 in a second. I'm sorry this long intro, but the poems are short. As I was writing this, I treated each sonnet like one would a line in a prospective sonnet that you were writing, and I was writing in tercets, in 3-3-3, and then a couplet. So this sort of functioned as, these two sonnets functioned as the couplet of the crown of sonnets. Is that too much? No, not for Jared. And that said, they sort of recap a lot of the images and bring back things. The 13th sonnet starts with the first 2 lines from the first sonnet. So it occurs to me these may be less immediately accessible, and I apologize, but I'm sure everyone who's been here has all the other ones memorized, which is good because the 15th sonnet is a compilation of the last lines of all of them, though not exactly perfect and not in the same order. But you should be able to, with a very good memory, construct the 15th sonnet with a little extrapolation out of the last 6 weeks. Or you can keep an eye open because it's going to be, you're going to read the whole thing on September 12th. And it's coming out as a little chapbook that you can purchase and own and read. I don't have a Zoom address for it yet, but it'll be on my website and on Facebook. Yay, Collapse Press picked it up. I'm just going to read these. Sorry that was a bit lengthy, but you won't have to listen to me for a while. So, woo! So this is sonnets 13 and 14 that sort of bring a lot of things together and end the sort of main sonnet of the crown. 13. Into the day we sail, replete, shorn of fiction, shorn of fate. We learn to make knots, learn to make beds, with trust in our forebears and trust in our hands. And while we're learning, we can't help but notice that just like a hammer, our words are a tool that make and break equally. Make and break people and cultures and chains. So we make and we break and we recount and remeasure until someone tells us our language is wrong. And there lies the crux, the pivot, the option to lash out in spite or go right along, or take a deliberate look for ourselves and decide we can break into song. 14. Again and again we break into song, and that is the key to our salvo and symphony that tremors the hollow insane into dust. For the song knows, and we know, that they are dust already, and we'll share the burden until they are gone. And how will we know we've found the right key? Let's take a walk for a while in the forest, in the midst of a mild and moonless night, and stop in the center in absolute stillness, and listen for rustling, listen for breeze, and smell the sweet onion, and smell the old roots, and let them undo us, imbue and reform us, until the sage blackbird heralds in wonder our crown pushing into the world. Thank you for your patience, my kind poet friends. I will miss you. I'll be dancing and singing somewhere and playing the violin.
Richard, that last one especially was particularly beautiful.
Thanks.
Really dug it. Nice job with the whole thing. We're definitely going to miss you. You got me thinking though. This is a crown of sonnets. Are there other accessories of sonnets? Is there a kilt of sonnets? Are there undergarments of
There should be.
sonnets? Can you can you wear a tuxedo of sonnets if you're going to a formal occasion?
I'm allergic to tuxedos, but I might wear, a torn up T-shirt of sonnets. Yeah.
Yeah, a punk rock outfit of
Hey,
sonnets.
when I get the little, whatever it is, Facebook thing for the release reading, can I post it on Cobalt Poets? Would that be okay?
Absolutely, of
In
course.
case some of you folks want to come and listen and
Please
actually hear
do.
it make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
All right, Richard, how lucky we are to have had you, as it were, over the last 6 weeks. Have fun dancing, singing, clowning around
thank you.
with your circus activities, and I look forward to seeing you in December when we can.
Yeah.
Always welcome, always part of it.
I'll be back.
Richard Loringer, thank you, Richard.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick.
On deck is the collab, Cathabella, Jackie, Siggy, and Chris. Please welcome Sean Mahoney. Hello, Sean.
Hey Rick, how you doing, everybody? I just have one for you tonight. It's something I wrote over the weekend. I don't know if I stuck the landing. So, while you were called a question mark, as if to ask what happened to me. Under thick oaks and shade, the skeleton of your ghost chose to have a drink with us. We who drink and saw a forest of no trees. Have a drink with us, let's plot something vile then. Spring swole me again like hundreds of ripe, sweet grapes. Row after row sip water from the soil. Yes, sometimes I still don't know what next year will look like. Lots of sun, floppy hats, high demand. Look again, the seeds sown, time for reaping. Turn a screw a bit more past hand tight. Torquing the churn feels like a soft, compliant city instead of crabs. It's annoying, really. Another round, please? Love is blindness, like the smell of an old dog, dirty and working to breathe. I wish you on top, staring down into my eyes, forcing them, juicing them for our truth. Love is blindness as frozen grapes rolling over teeth and tongue, sliding down your throat with the rest of me. It really is time for that drink. Give me the sour mash, the distilled potatoes and sugarcane molasses. Ferment our bond, let out our yeast, our uncultured sex. Take your time before responding. What you say next could unmake us both, may blow our made-up skin and identify the hairs left soaked to the shower drain. A ghosting skeleton pours a hat full of sinister fun, waits for a tip after bringing your coat. It's never cold enough here. This land we painted a color resembling our vile impulse. Ours to rename and grind all the tree branches, leaving naked trunks, toothpicks and pencils. What monkey would climb this? Our next grape stompers dance for the thirsty, juice without safety gear. Our water lines underneath, under this anger pulping for fermentation. We will have our drink and our gilded monkeys, frontier justice and gold coffee, willowed remembrance of sun touching us. I run liquids through me, identifying disease progress, and recall that you and I have a date for the end of the bloody world. And peace.
At least you don't have to have that experience alone, I guess. Sean.
All of us should hope for the same.
Yeah, I mean, if the world's going to end, you might as well be hand in hand for the apocalypse, etc. I thought that was pretty good. And somewhat you probably didn't see when you're reading, but someone said in the chat, you always stick the landing. So there you go.
Blush.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks for clearing out the mall there in the background. So, there
Yeah,
wouldn't be any sound
honestly, I don't know where
disruptions.
that came from. I just saw it in my images and said, yeah, that'll work tonight. So
Yeah, it works.
I'm not sure what it is. It came from somewhere.
It's the end of the bloody world, is what it is.
Could be that's where we'll all be at the end of the bloody world.
Sure. All right. Well, Sean, well done. Thank you for being here. A round of applause for Sean Mahoney.
Thanks, everyone.
On deck, Christopher T. George. Please welcome now the collab Cathabella, Jackie, Siggy, and Chris. Hello to all of you.
I'm just listening today.
Cathabella, you there?
I can see the screen.
Do not hear anything from Cathabella. Do you guys want to read through it? Or I guess you can't scroll or I don't know.
I think she's. Oh, I don't know what she's doing.
Oh, she's muted. Okay, Cathabella. Let me try to unmute you again. There you go.
Thank you. I don't know how that would happen. Okay, here we go.
There you are.
A string of names. Jackie.
Named after Jackie Onassis. I still wished to be a Stacy, the popular girl.
Loving my name because I made it myself from driftwood and stones and added a bell. Siggy.
I could never, for the life of me, honor her request. It seemed so awkward, calling her Gummy.
Jackie.
Upgraded to live indoors. Backyard cats without names, like foreigners.
After her perfect cat passed away at 23, she named a kitten Perfect, but it wasn't. True story. Siggy.
Newborn, huge brown eyes. Dad named her Bambi. Now aging, called Nanny Bam Bam.
Jackie.
Weaving a silk string into knots. The confusions of childhood.
Beautiful. String theory. They say it helps you remember. I forget how it works. Siggy.
Teenage girl strings a long bow. Prom date certain. Along came football captain with no strings attached.
String theory. They say it's the theory of everything. I forget how that works too. Jackie.
Stringing a poem together. The words come on strong in my fingers.
Perfect. Here's Rick.
This is a Renaissance flute. It just has 6 holes, very simple, but it's very different from the Baroque flute. It's cylindrical instead of tapered.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. And that's it. It was
All
lots
right.
of fun. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all, Cathabella, Jackie, Siggy, and Rick. Sorry for putting you on the spot there, Chris. Cathabella mentioned earlier you might be joining, and then you joined. So what's a guy to do? Glad to have you all here as always and see what it is that you've come up with each week. Thanks for the unique presentation. Round of applause for the collab. On deck is Ken Scott. Please welcome now Christopher T. George. Hello, Christopher. Christopher, we can't hear you. Are you there? All right, well, it seems to me there's a microphone problem on Christopher's end. So Chris, maybe you can check the audio settings and send me a message when you've got that figured out and are ready to go. And I will put you back on the list at that point. That's the theme tonight, technical issues, apparently. Melody, you are on deck. Please welcome now Ken Scott. Hello, Ken.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I've got 2 pieces. And these are pieces that I wrote a while ago, but recently I've been reflecting on what it means to have vital resources like food, clothing, shelter, healthcare as a basic human right, and how that applies definitely to our spiritual evolution. This first piece is called Birthright. You have a birthright. No matter what anyone says to the contrary, you have a birthright. Regardless of an entire society striving to program you into thinking that you can only get bread by the sweat of your brow, you have a birthright. You are a human being, a divine being. And as such, you already have a birthright to abundance, prosperity, fulfillment, dignity, peace, and eternal love. As a divine being who has the power to create a new reality, you already have a birthright to be properly fed, clothed, sheltered, educated, healed, protected, and sustained by a clean environment. You do not ever have to work for what is already yours. Simply claim it. It's your birthright. That's that one. The second piece that I'm going to do on a similar vein is called Window of a Trillion Blessings. You are a divine being. You are supposed to have everything that fulfills you. You are supposed to feel good about all of it. And you are supposed to be deeply thankful for all of it. You are supposed to have proper health and peace and safety and abundance and wealth and prosperity and meaningful friendships and romantic love and sexual fulfillment and a loving family and crucial knowledge and deep wisdom and supernatural power and spiritual ascension. All of it is your birthright as a divine being. The only one who can keep you from having everything that is already yours is you. And the only one who can allow you to have it all is you. You are your own window of a trillion blessings. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Inspirational, Ken. Thank you so much. It's all ours when we're born, and we should share it, and not put up lines and draw borders and all of that stuff. So thank you for those sentiments in your work. And some nice spoken word rhythm there in that last piece with your ands. And.
And. Yep.
Good job. Round of applause for Ken Scott. Thank you, Ken. On deck. Almost said on duck. I was just going to roll past it, but I needed to admit that that almost just happened. On duck, but it didn't happen. I pulled through. On deck, Ike Waltz. Please welcome Melody Anderson Bermudez. Hello, Melody.
Hi there. My prompt tonight was write a poem about a red wheelbarrow and dedicate it to William Carlos Williams. So I thought I'd start with his poem, which is short. It's called The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater beside the white chicken. And my poem goes like this. The red wheelbarrow dedicated to William Carlos Williams. When I was a kid, we had a red wheelbarrow, but no white chicken, like in William Carlos Williams' poem. I put my little sister and brother in the red wheelbarrow, and I pulled them around the empty lot. Now I put my two grandchildren, Leo and Lilani, in the red wagon, and I pull them around the backyard. They yell, more, 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 and I pull them around the backyard again and again and again. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody. Love that William Carlos Williams poem. The line, everything depends on a red wheel. That's just such an iconic line of poetry. Really cool that you got to think about it and respond to it. Thank you so much for that piece tonight. Both of your pieces, your piece and that piece. Round of applause for Melody. Thank you, Melody.
You're welcome.
All right, on deck is Andy. Please welcome now Ike Waltz. Hello, Ike.
Hello. My song in free verse, after the composer Gustav Mahler and the poet Friedrich Rückert. I never can find those right words, as my feelings surpass me so easily. Love so fragile, more than a sidekick, glued to my soul, keeps reminding me pain so longing, destructing what is left of I. Brotherhood so missed, lives so far away. Music I'd love to conduct, composers, choreography I only meet in a dream. But where is this you? My love and suicidal goodbyes I never seek to see, like yummy tiramisu, layers I can only taste in your eyes. But I'm not allowed to eat my treat because I am ill at heart. Kiss after kiss, we would not miss these words that ask, why? when crossing history's Roman bridges, passing the old town gate forever wide open, a lock and a key gone long missing, the old city wall, now a motorway, defended my childhood from a bitter war. Cobblestones told me, you are safe. Church bells still echo in my ear, you are home, you are home. And I feel not alone, but alone. Oh, I miss you, my jubilating lark, dancing in the sunlight way above the golden barley fields. That's how I learned to speak, to sing, to admire you. I still can feel history's making as time ticks away from me. The heroic juvenile past, always a defined future in sight. As every new day begins with hope, just a time is changing with time, and time ticks away as I embrace what is our naked us, our future, that lost last touch, words long gone to sleep. When end meets the end, there is nothing more to weep, but we end in an earthen embrace, side by side, you and me. Wir sind der Welt abhanden gekommen, mit der wir sonst so viel Zeit verdorben. We are lost to this world, during which we used to waste so much time. Friedrich Rückert wrote, Gustav Mahler composed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ike. Hopefully, we can do something and find ourselves with the world again going forward. Appreciate your piece tonight. Thank you for being here. Round of applause for Ike Waltz. On deck, Ed Potastic, please welcome Andy. Hello, Andy.
Hello. Hi, Rick. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to hear Ying read. Ying's one of my favorite poets, and she's done a lot for San Diego poetry. And also Bill Harding has, I have a new book coming out on September 15th. Bill has like 6 other projects going at the same time, but he's the editor of the San Diego Poetry Annual. My book's Life Outside the Womb, and it comes out on Amazon on September 15th. I'm just going to read 2 short poems from it. In the womb, there was no need to fill in the gaps between trees or unknown song lyrics. All was one, emulsified. Dreams were in membranes, connected to the dreams of my mother and to a much bigger dream. Risk is the fit I've been throwing since birth. When I left the womb for the dimmer light, I looked out and saw the possibility of failure. I tried to go back inside, but the door was shut. All right, and I have one more. We were at Disney World one year, and we were waiting in line for Space Mountain. The TV had a message for those in line. It was a man's voice saying, "You can meet your family and friends at the exit." I said it over and over in the accent he had. "You can meet your family and friends at the exit." It was a moment like in the movie Temple Grandin. Temple is saying the same line over and over to her aunt. "Do you want me to open the gate?" And when they arrive at her aunt's property, there is a closed gate, and Temple says again, in the accent of the actor in the movie, she is repeating, "Do you want me to open the gate?" And her aunt says, "Yes." Thanks.
Andy, really enjoyed both of those pieces. Happy that you found yourself here.
Yeah.
I guess you had to go somewhere since you couldn't get back into the womb. So, if you find again you're trying to get somewhere next Tuesday, please come and read for us again. Great to hear your work and have another San Diego poet in the house tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Rick.
Round of applause for Andy. On deck, Finn, Bell. Let's give a try to Ed Potastic again. Hi, Ed.
Hello. Thank you so much, our wonderful host I love the most, Desert Toast, and thank you so much for the wonderful feature. She did such a phenomenal job. Hello, my name is Ed Potastic, I'm feeling fantastic. Please take the time so you can join my rhyme for all you feel sublime. Thank you for giving me the time. I got two poems. The first poem is called Why Not Be Kind? You need to be kind before life kicks you behind. Do it for humanity, to change hearts or society. My grandma taught me kindness with chocolate and a big kiss. Kindness can kill the monsters or change the fakers to makers. People always have this question for their unpredictable situation. What's in it for you and me? Well, change, if you can see. Some people love to be selfish, but complain about empty dish. Some people love to be greedy, but aren't they being the most needy? Some people love to be angry, but blame everyone for being snappy. Some people love to be negative, but what about the positive? Life isn't about you or me. If so, it will be a travesty. Everyone deserves appreciation. It gives them instant satisfaction. Repeat after me, you are a great person. No, but I'm most certain my reason. Repeat after me, I wish you a nice day. Not only today, but each and every day. Repeat after me, you are enough. Stop being edgy, dark, and rough. Repeat after me, I'm here for you. It doesn't take much to break through. Do you feel calm and better? I hope it brightens your weather. Sometimes it can be a bit hard, but please lower your guard. It's called being human. We all are not made of sand. Do you feel warmth in your veins? Good. It must weigh the pain. It's called being generous. It's different from being oblivious. What's the point of being unkind? Don't get trapped in your mind. If this poem doesn't change your heart, then get some sugar, but don't stay tart. If you ever want a miracle or luck, then don't stay mean or stuck. As simple can be. Please be kind and show glee. Thank you. And this other one's called Vestigal Organ. You are unneeded, but you are still greeted. Everything has a purpose. Just ask your inner circuits. Bump, 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 grump, grump, grump. The cheering from my heart, oh stomach, I'm a moving work of art. The pink gears turn into place. I can see the impact on your face. We are all unique living machines. I didn't say hollow. I'm not mean. We need to sleep to get energy. We think to express empathy. We eat to charge our batteries. We program to work in our factories. We do calculations in our head. We sleep mode when we go to bed. We scan material to gain more knowledge. We freeze when we go to college. We are machines, yet we are all the same. What? Your logical creator is to blame. Don't think in black and white, but gray. Please respond and say what you need to say. Some say it's about blood and skin. How could you think that way, my friend? We're all the same if you turn off the lights. Some don't think, but fight, fight, fight. Some Terminators overload with narcissism. I think they need a new, updated system. We're all the same underneath our colorful shell. Hope this alarms your ringtones and bells. Thank you.
Ed, thank you. There's definitely no point to being unkind, and it's sometimes just as a human being, we struggle to remember that, and it happens anyway. So thank you for that reminder. Sweet piece that you brought us. Round of applause for Ed Potestic. Thanks for being here. On deck, Kristen Montealegra. Please welcome now Finn Bell. Hello, Finn.
Good evening, Rick. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ying, for your absolutely gorgeous set. That was delightful. It's beautiful. Thank you. So 2 poems from me. The first one is titled What the Tree Can Give. My young tree buffers against uncaring winds as they blow through and tease his fresh leaves to weaken stem and fall. He braces slender branches above the nothingness of the thinning ear's embrace, a practice made perfect by his solitary form. 5 springtimes passed since sprouting, naive and vulnerable into this strange new world. The humble, untended garden attempted her best, offered him paltry companions, a tall mangled pine, too far away to link growing limbs with, a camellia bush, mourning her fallen comrade. Every morning still, the littlest sapling shakes out his trunk and stretches high dreams of stolen glimmers of the dazzling sun between thickened foliage, the older souls in the grove. Yesterday, he was patient, waiting for the steady, continuous rain, its every pelting raindrop, plump and heavy, after the passing thunderstorm. Today, the sun awakens radiant, blesses his fragile, damp leaves. He uncurls a drooping sprig from his shivering body to divulge the shadowy jade hulls of 3 newborn walnuts. All right, second poem. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm hearing a buzz on my end. I hope so. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Awesome. Whoops. Okay, the second poem is titled Take Heed, Sunchaser. A word of wisdom to the determined acolyte convinced a deity's language exists in capturing the sun. Do you realize you lust after an average yellow-white star dwarfed in the grand design of supergiants in their nebulae? And what of all these rock star titans and odd colossus burning bright, living life in the fast lane and dying young? Stray far from what they know, from where they reign supreme and there's too much space debris blowing like dust after a cosmic windstorm. We do not raise our faces upward to claim we gaze at the sun in challenge and did not flinch. We bask in its warmth while it's here and thank what it grants to the soil that in turn lends to us. Folk stories and myths and fables spring in each harvest. Don't be fooled. They've always been about humanity, never gods. Thank you.
And thank you. And for the record, no buzz on our end. The first poem, What the Tree Can Give, reminded me of something that Ying asked us. She said, who here has read Shel Silverstein? And of course, one of his most famous titles is The Giving Tree, all about a tree giving and giving and giving all that it had. So
yeah,
I don't
thank
know
you
if
for that, because it did inspire me when I heard Shel Silverstein. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do this poem. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Perfect connection. All right. The system works. Finn, thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Finn Bell. Christopher T. George, send me a message to let me know if you've got your sound fixed, because if so, you will be on deck. If not, I will be on deck to close out the open reading. Please welcome our next reader, Christian Montealegra. Hello, Christian.
Hey, Rick. Hey, everyone. Great to be with all of you tonight. I appreciate all of the poems that you've read, and I needed a poem infusion, so I'm really grateful to be with all of you tonight. Okay, I'm gonna read 2 poems as well. And yeah, so it's 2 poems that are dedicated to a friend who passed away. All right, so the first one goes, okay, it's titled Aaron. I like to chase sunsets like on this October day, sitting by the shore, listening to dance techno. Many others attend, sitting near me, walking alongside the shore, or they're dipping their feet in the cold water, staring as the sun and gleaning his goodbye. At the crossing ocean line where those before me thought the world was flat and therefore ended. Aaron died too young at the age of 32. Tragedy befalls his story, but he's at the beach with me right now. It was here where he danced for me, the choreography of Rain on Me, on a cold, foggy Sunday in February, post-pandemic fever, and when face masks were a la mode. It is my strong opinion he should have been burned and his ashes spread here in the ocean, all around his special places, given to many of us to put in jewelry that we could wear every day. Thank you. And then the other one that I wrote about him is, it goes like this. Regret has a vinegar taste in the palate. The train goes by the cemetery where your body was put away into a cement box. That's not how I would have handled it. Powerlessness has a nauseating feeling in the gut. From your convalescent state, I hoped you would heal and come back to your senses. I hoped you could see the sun again and suntan in its glory. I hoped you would regain your touch and your strength. I hoped I would see you in the ocean water. I hoped we would go to the beach again and you would sport a sexy Speedo. I hoped you would regain your life and fly again. I hoped, but I was afraid to overstep. I hoped, but I remained timid and quiet from strong suggestions. I hoped and feared you would slowly die in that place, and you did. And in your death, your honoring felt short and quiet. Many didn't know, many found out too late. Many remained shut away without an effort to find them and alert them where you were, sinking deep down in the void. There were too few of us pulling the rope. Regret gets stuck in the throat and facial frowns follow, a disturbance in the soul that is painfully tender. Grief is the antacid I refuse to take. Aaron died and the world moved on. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Christian. Nice to see you again. Whenever you're in need of a poem infusion, we're here and we enjoy the poems that you help incorporate into that fusion as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, everybody. Great to be here.
Round of applause for Christian Montealegra. Thank you, Christian. I'm on deck to close out the open reading. Let's see if we can hear from Christopher T. George. Hi, Christopher.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Well, that's something. Okay, let me call up my screen share. Niagara. You didn't want to go there. She did. And since a friend mentioned the Maid of the Mist and Marilyn Monroe, you dress in black slickers for the boat ride to the thunderous, churning base of the Horseshoe Falls, laughing as lashings of warm water splash you. Pants drenched below the slickers, the perilous brink, cascading tons of water your way. None like Marilyn's movie. No lover or husband disappears, leaving slicker and shoes. At night, the falls still thunder, alternately floodlit, white, red, blue, green, an effect worthy of Hollywood, surreal as Marilyn, look but do not touch. And while you sleep in the darkness, the white water of the falls churns, cascades, crashes, irrational, insistent. When you leave, you safely store them away with the tourist mementos, your life together, useless as the Canadian coins in your pocket as you recross the Rainbow Bridge. A memory like the tales of the Niagara daredevils or the garish honky-tonk of Clifton Hill. Now you're miles away. The falls thunder on, unknown to you. You've abandoned them, as later you were abandoned her. While you're together, your cufflinks and watch on the dresser, then an empty space. This is about a statue in East Baltimore happens to be in the same block where the former hospital is, where Edgar Allan Poe dies. It's about a late 19th century mayor, Mayor Latrobe. The mayor's boots. The mayor's boots are all bright and shiny, where the kids have climbed all over them. But the kids are gone, leaving his bright, shiny boots, his formidable green paunch, and his walrus-moustached countenance, to watch over the garbage-strewn streets of the city he mayored 100 years of spunky kids ago. The kids no longer care for him, or his bright, shiny boots. They've gone to stuff the gutters of the world with their junk and find other people to climb all over. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Glad we got the issues figured out. We got to hear your work tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of Baltimore for us, would you?
All right.
Round of applause for Christopher T. George. Thank you, Christopher. I'm going to close out the open with a couple of poems. I have a brand new book out called Begin the Baguette. It just came out today. You guys, if you come here on a regular basis, you know I'm always reading my latest Torah portion poem. So I've got a project which I've been working on for 7 years that is a culmination of all of these poems that I've written over the last 7 years, responding to lines of text in those poems. So because the Torah is broken into 5 books, my project is also broken into 5 books, broken up into 5 books. And the first one just came out today. You can get it anywhere. You can go to my website, poetrysuperhighway.com. It's on Amazon. It's on bookshop.org, all kinds of places. So if you're interested, check it out. 4 more coming out this year. It's a busy year for me in poetry. I'm going to read actually not a poem from it, because it's my habit to read the poem for the text that we actually are supposed to look at this week. And so that book covers the first book of the Torah, which we won't start reading until late September, maybe early October. I'm not sure. This week's Torah portion in Hebrew is called Shoftim, which in English means judges. The poem is called Plea. Be fair, judges, whether appointed or elected. Hold the line. Pursue, don't pervert justice, whether it's traffic citations or human rights or human. Be human, judges, your words make the path, and there are no left and right turns on the path, only forward, don't go backwards. Judges, blood has been spilled to get us where we are, don't step on the blood, don't make it personal, judges, whether it's courts of law or poetry contests or pie-eating contests or American Idol, but mostly courts of law. Forget I said the other things. Judges, they're sending you the biggest choices to make. Make them with all the weight on you. Everything depends on your gavel, your judgments, your good sensibility. That is a brand new poem written for this week. Wow, Jared, that's a long link. Fortunately, you only have to click once on it. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's very nice of you. By special request, I was going to read a short little poem from High Moose Alert, but Ying's husband is here, and he remembered me reading this poem at a reading in Escondido a while back. I was trying to remember when I wrote this poem. It was at least 13 years ago, because I saw a video that I made of me reading it 13 years ago on YouTube. It's from a spoken word album I made called Rick Lupert Live and Dead. And here's a link to that. It's a militant vegetarian poem, which was not my intention, but what can you do? It's called Hot Dog Truck. I'm driving westbound on Sherman Way behind a hot dog truck. This giant cock of meat I'm tailgating shouts in my face, 100 species died to make me. It's the ultimate fuck you to my vegetarianism. We pass by a pet store and I blurt out the window, "Don't worry, guys, I got this one." I swerve to pull ahead, and sure enough, the driver is smoking the leg of a zebra. He's got that look which says, "You want to roll with the wiener? You got to put the jungle in your mouth." I want to pull ahead and hit the fart button on my car, but then I remember that's something I made up. I want to drive on a road free of meat. I want to put a forest of carrots in my mouth. I want to wrap my arms around a leopard so when the credits roll, everyone will know no animals were even looked at funny in the living of this life. Oh, meat truck. Oh, rolling death. Oh, baconalia. Move aside. Life is rolling by. There you go. Can't quite follow that with a Torah poem. It all feels rather unholy, honestly. Thank you, Andy, for requesting that poem. That's really cool of you to do that. As I mentioned to Andy in a private message, when someone requests a poem of yours, that's kind of like giving a poet an Academy Award. So quite an honor. Thank you so much. I want to thank you all for being here. A great night. Especially, I want to thank Ying Wu for her reading tonight. The pasting stuff in the chat that I pasted earlier, please consider tipping our featured reader via PayPal or Venmo. There, support her for her great reading tonight, for her presence, and again, so she could buy more boats. You can download the broadside for ooh, there's a typo there. That's not my fault. That's autocorrect. For Ying's poem at the Cobalt Poets website. Once you're there, not only can you see all the broadsides ever published, this was number 719, by the way, but you can click on calendar to see who's coming up next. I should have mentioned this earlier, but our very own Hermione Beard will be our featured reader next week. I know you're here tonight, Hermione. Excited to see your full set of poems next week. It's going to be awesome. And you can see who else is coming along in the upcoming weeks as well. And if you're newer here and not already on our email list, please feel free to click on email list on that website and add yourself, and you'll get an email Sundays and Tuesdays reminding you about the reading. That is everything. I'm going to click on Ask All to unmute. So there you go. Feel free to unmute and say hi.
Man.
Hi.
Nothing
Thank
more
you, everybody.
terrorizing, nothing
Especially
more
you.
terrorizing than a meat truck in the valley, dude. Valley, bro. The Val.
Thanks,
oh my
Rick.
God.
That's the best poem ever.
Because you don't know what kind of mystery meat that might be.
I've read this maybe not recently, but before here, and this unique to this being a Cobalt event. I wrote that on the way to the Cobalt. Well, I didn't wrote it. The experience, I did write it, but I didn't write it in the car. I wrote it, thought it up. The experience happened on the way to the Cobalt one Tuesday night. So there you go.
There you go.
Those damn hot dog cars.
It was just this giant hot dog looking in my face. I'm like,
yeah, we had one of those driving around the mall here in DC a while back.
The evil meat wagon of destruction, man.
And of course, the OG of that was the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what we had here in DC, one of those.
Oscar Mayer Wiener of absolute torment, bro.
Well, it was fun. It was fun. Every once in a while, we'd see PETA demonstrators chasing it. That was fun too.
Everyone was